Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of NYC CNC. Happy New Year to everyone. I'm excited to get back in the swing of things for 2010 and wanted to start off with a updated video of my shop. I've had some new equipment which I'm excited to share, and I'll go into more details on that in a future video, but just wanted to give everyone an update on the shop. So I'm going to start here and just rotate the camera around, and then I'll come back and talk about the specific things here in a minute. Alright, that's the sort of eye level view. I'm now going to aim it down a little more so you can see. Okay, and here's one of my newest pieces of equipment. This is a 12-ton shop press from Harbor Freight. I had a hard time getting this because, as everyone knows, being in New York City, it's not the easiest to receive and work with heavy equipment. So I was able to get access to a car and drive out to a New Jersey store and pick this up. Had a coupon sale for $89, which is a pretty hard price to beat when the steel in it alone weighs 120 pounds. I was interested in getting a 20-ton, but unfortunately it was just much too big, too wide, and it weighed over 200 pounds, which really is a lot more difficult to work with. When you break this one down into a few pieces, it's pretty easy to get around. So excited to have that. A typical Harbor Freight, not the best quality. Luckily, since it's a arbor press, hopefully it won't be a problem. I did notice that the brackets here weren't tightening up, so I made a little shim to put in there, and then I'm going to work with it a little bit more. The center post here is not really aligned. I think that's going to be important to fix. Anyways, the reason I bought this is that I'm going to be making something like this, which is a homemade shop press bending die, so that I can bend 90-degree or any degree angles in heavier gauge metal that my diacro finger brake, which you're looking at right down here, can't handle. This can really only go up to 16 gauge, and I've definitely want to bend some stuff upwards of 1/8 inch or maybe even 3/16. And as I understand it, a 12-inch wide piece of 3/16 of mild steel needs about 11 tons. So when I'm bending smaller stuff like 1/8 inch, shouldn't be a problem at all. I'll be sure to post a video when I start this project. I just ordered the metal recently. The other project, or the other new thing I've got, which is actually very much used, is a Procunier, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, number 2E tapping head. It has a 2 Morse taper collet, or excuse me, shank, and what that does is you take out the chuck and you slide this into your drill press, and you slide a tap into a collet on the bottom. This goes as small, I think, as number 10 and as large as 3/8, maybe even half inch in brass. And if you don't know what a tapping head is, take a look. They're pretty cool. Basically, it has an internal clutch mechanism, which means you run the drill in the forward direction. I'll set this down so that I can show you. And as you run the drill in the forward direction, the unit itself turns, but there's a clutch inside here, and once you lift up, once you're done, when you've reached the bottom, and as soon as you lift up on your press handle, it recognizes that you've changed directions, and this snaps back and goes in reverse twice the speed it's going forward, even though this is still turning forward. So what that allows you to do is tap holes really quickly. It would be even better to have with a CNC mill so that you could automate it. This is too tall for my TEG mill, but it's still going to be very helpful. These are new, anywhere between $400 and $800, and I got this one used on eBay with collets for under $60. So if you're interested, definitely take a look. I'll have an episode later about just the tapping head. Taking a quick step back, the bins underneath my workbench here are new. They're made by a company called Akron Mills, I believe. I found them in Enco, and they were about $70 each. There's 3 of them here. which is a little bit more than I was looking to spend, but they're all steel construction. And as you can see, the quality is really nice. I can support and stack material on top of them. And so, these are going to be around for a while, so I didn't mind putting the money into it. It helps me take advantage of this space. I also got this new punch press, which you can see here on the end of the table, which is a Heinrich No. 6 punch press. It takes different tooling dies as small as 7/32, which is just smaller, hair smaller than an eighth, to as large as ½ an inch. And it is has an 8-inch throat, which is nice, but for me it was just more important to have a much more robust punch press than the little guy I've got down here, which can really only do stuff in, as thick as 16 gauge steel. This can do a 1/2 inch wide hole in steel up to 1/8 inch thick, which is really great. It saves me a lot of time, and the problem is with drilling, you've got to drill successively bigger holes, and what I can do now is just use a center punch to mark the location and go straight to the final size with a better diameter accuracy than I could before. I'll actually just show you. I've been punching some test pieces here, and if you see, the quality of the punch hole is really great. You don't need to deburr, and I'm definitely looking forward to putting this thing to work. I think I've covered most of the rest of the equipment in various other episodes or videos, but if anyone has any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll have some new episodes here in the coming months on some of this new equipment and other projects. Thanks, everyone. Take care.